Good morning, everyone. It was a good morning. We started off, having a great day, and kids were being good, and it was a good morning. And we had to go take my daughter to get her measurements for the dress because she's being a flower girl in our friend's wedding, and so we've had all that going along, and all the planning and stuff, and it's kind of fun. We're helping out with a lot of this stuff, and anyway, everybody was happy and just, I guess, oblivious to everything that was going on around them, which happens in times, but what woke us up today is something that doesn't normally happen where we are. My husband went out real quick before we left, and he said, when he came back, he told me that he found out that at the bank where we do business at, one of the banks, a worker that worked there was cheating on her husband, and her husband, I guess, also worked at the bank. This is the way I understand the story. So, of course, not of course. I mean, I don't understand why he did it, but he goes on a rampage and goes in there and shoots the woman, shoots her boyfriend, then shoots her, shoots the cop, shoots the police officer, takes her and dumps her in the middle of the street. And we live in small town Mississippi, and normally there's not a lot of stuff that goes on. I mean, there is in the capital city, but not where we are. And you feel this level of safety. You feel like you're safe in your small little town, and I tell you what, the way the world is getting now, nobody's safe. Unless you, and that's why I don't understand, what's really, I guess, burdening me down today, and what's really bothering me is, and I should probably write, I don't know, but I just felt like, that I needed to get this out, and I needed to talk about it. And some of the things that I'm going to touch on this vlog, people will probably yank subscriptions and, make mean comments at me, but it's not the first time that it's happened. If you're a devout Christian, or you have a relationship with God, you get labeled as religious, and you're a bigot, and you're just, all kinds of horrible things that people say about you. But, to be honest, in my opinion, they're the ones being judgmental, because, you can't label someone, if someone else is believes the same thing someone else does, or, and just because that person acts that way or someone else acts that way does not mean that Christians as a whole, or anything in any situation or any belief, or, it doesn't mean that the whole group as a whole is that way. To me, that is very judgmental. But, I've said before, when I have something that I feel like I have to say, in the past I have held things inside to keep from getting hurt in different situations. But now, when I feel something, I'm going to do the best I can to get it out without hurting feelings or annoying people. But I will say it. And this is more not being annoyed. I'm not annoyed at all right now. I'm just in a very shocked and upset mood because of everything that's going on. I don't understand. I've got friends that are atheists. I've got friends that are, don't believe that there's a God. They don't believe that there's a devil. And, a lot of these people have read the Bible cover to cover. I mean, they've read more than me, which I should read more, but to be honest, I have trouble reading for long periods of time, and what I'm going to do is get the Bible on cassette or whatever and try to read it more. But I've read enough to know that some of the things that are happening, especially like now, are basically talked about in Revelation and different books of the Bible. I mean, how can you look around and see what's going on with all, people just killing people and going crazy? And I know, people probably think, well, people have been doing bad things since the beginning. But it's worse. I mean, you can't even watch the news now without hearing, some mother killing her baby, or some shooting, or, something really horrible. And, it's depressing. I've gotten to the point now where I don't even want to watch the news anymore. But, you need to know what's going on. You have to know what's going on. And what I'm really wanting to say is I just don't understand, how someone could say that there is no God or that there is no devil. When, and why, I mean, most of the people that are getting mistreated and, people don't want to hear from is the Christians. Have you ever asked yourself why? Muslims, and different people in different religions or whatever, which I don't consider myself to be religious. I consider it a relationship. A lot of people have told me that's a dumb way to think. If you're a Christian, you're religious, but no, not necessarily. I've become a Christian not because of what I was taught, but because of experiences that I've had in my life. The things that I was taught, I was very rebellious as a child. I did not take what they said for, I believed it, but I didn't. I wanted to go my own way. I wanted to do what I wanted. I wanted to find my own answers for, I guess, life's questions. And, so I did. And I basically turned my back on Christianity for a very long time. But situations that had happened in my life, because my mother was on her knees and she was praying, and some of the things that I got myself into, I could have been killed and could have been dead. Just different situations in my life have proven to me that there is a God. And, and a lot of people, the reason they have a real attitude towards God is they're like, well, if there was a God, why isn't he there for me? And what I'm going through right now, why is he allowing me to go through the things that I'm going through? I had a choir teacher that wrote a song, and also there's a poem about it. The only way I know how to explain it is if you look at a tapestry, a woven tapestry. There's one side of it, like if you turn it over, that's all tattered, and it's not beautiful. And that's the part that we're seeing. But God sees further than we do, and he knows more than we could ever understand. And, one day when we get to our destination, of course, heaven, then we'll get to see the beauty that he sees. And, a lot of the times you go through situations in your life so that you can help others. We all affect each other, whether we want to admit it or not. And nowadays it's really upsetting because people, it's like they live for themselves, and they forget that there's people around them, and there's people that they could help, or that might be hurting, or whatever. And I know I'm probably, people might consider what I'm saying a little too emotional, or I'm a drama queen, but this is how I feel. And it's a shock. It says in the Bible, I can't remember exactly where it's at, but it talks about woe to those that give suck, which basically means women with children, women with babies in the last days, because, it's bad. It's bad. You have to worry about your kids going to school. Someone could go off and start rampaging and shooting people and, different things. And I just don't see how anybody makes it. I couldn't make it if I didn't have a relationship with God. And I don't see how people, because you can't trust people. Even as much as I love my husband, which, I don't think he would cheat on me or do anything like that, but as much as I love him, he's still human, and he's still subject to fail. And, I just don't see how people go on without something to hold on to, because it's like you can't really hold on to a person, not totally and completely, because, well, they're human. They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. No one else is. These are just things, no one is. And these are just things that, I'm really feeling right now. My thoughts are kind of just scattered everywhere. I don't know. It's just I really don't want to cry on camera. We don't. But it's just, do you think about, you know, that she had parents, and, I gotta go because it's 10 minutes, but, thanks for putting up with me.